Thank you for your time to listen to my presentation what I have over here. So you might be wondering what's so different about the presentation. Well, in this presentation, I'm going to present you the history of my projects that I did for APR and the products that I made for Miss Young. So as you might notice, there are multiple themes that go behind this art. Normally, Miss Young will assign me two different themes such as full body, choreography, shading, depth, full freedoms, and anything else, and still have motions. So as you might notice, one of the things students always come with is the higher detail I put. As you might know, I'm a detail-oriented individual. One thing I always do is that if I have the right materials, such as markers, I tend to add more detail in the color of the hair, the facial features, and shading. And an important part of my artwork is that I usually put shading into the box and the portraits. As you can see, the type of shades that I do indicates the type of shadows I did. And only when it comes to full body images, technically I'm always known to make a centerpiece always in the box. However, Ms. Young gives an assignment that tells us how to make a full body image. So she has some models, and I already did the first sample of the complete acid. Now the thing is, I'm not a huge full body individual, nor orientated for any metal. I usually get MC1, and keep in mind I usually have to do some pencil. The same with this one, but this was for keeps for showcasing. What I usually did for this one is that I usually draw a pencil, then use a black and marker, then shade it with pen. And that's the majority of what I do in my artist pieces. As you can see, most of the time when I add up some quality, or try to add a full body that's only half of the image, I tend to add some coloring and some detail. The only major problem is the hair, since it doesn't really seem shiny, it seems more blocky. Then when it comes to depth, I usually add some lines from the background, which I often don't usually do animated, but when I do, I usually use something like, I'm not that experienced when it comes to skyscrapers, no coloring. I just usually just draw tough lines or use cross-hatch as the material. Then when it comes to where I use references, since most of my work is always based on my references. About that meaning is that I will usually use newspapers, magazines, A-type, and beauty magazines, or use Google Images to get my resources and assets. Now there's also some ones that I did use references that I did on myself without pictures, and this is the one I used on the 4 freedoms. Long story short, the 4 freedoms is all about freedom of want and freedom of expression. Those are only 2 freedoms. I have to actually use Wikipedia to get the actual meaning that you always show me. And most of the time, what makes this different is that it's not actually a portrait; it's actually different figures and lines. Now that I mention it, I actually discovered a actual technique or a actual style in which I would actually put smaller lines. These lines will usually simulate the actual tree trunk, which is cut off. That's what I didn't notice so far, since most of my work is always about the face, but I didn't notice that I could actually create the lines that have a illusion of a tree or a branch. Another thing I also know is called accessories and weapons. So I could see this is supposed to be a katana, but it's usually but to me it's just a paper towel. I even meant to myself it wasn't an actual katana, since it's not actually industry accurate how this was could be a katana, but the only thing I only did besides the weapons part is the hats and the hair. Sometimes the hair could be could be too frizzy, sometimes it could be straight, sometimes it could be over exaggerated, but that's my expertise. Besides making human qualities, I usually make animal mixes and give personification. Same with the shading, there will be some art pieces where only does black pen only and does the black only. Some people are complaining that it doesn't really have any color, but when you only have pen only, this is the result. And again, I use a reference for this one. Now for the stereo life, apparently Miss Young gave me the object. She gave me, apparently the story goes is that during the fourth period, Miss Young actually gave me an object. This was supposed to be a water bottle, the table, the box, and the actual plant photo, and another box, and the bowl. It's gonna, then I usually add face stars for added detail, since I usually have a great reputation. But then I usually add some background of a sea porcupine aesthetics. That was usually the only thing I added, besides the everywhere background and the shadows. I probably say I'm not that great with still life, since I only do well with full faces, but I can never do it with an object. That's only dependable, but if I do that, I tend to have frequencies of adding personification and facial features, which is going against still life. Other than that, is pretty much the only attempt that I ever tried. It's still a great stripe. Now, the thing that people always says that they claim that it always looks the same, which I would disagree, but often they criticism periodically. People say that it looks the same because it's just a portrait or a bust. But I could agree with some aspects, but the only thing you have to understand is that this is also I grew up with. The only thing I did wear was the full body sketch. This was different because because normally when I do bosses, I only focus on the shoulders and the neck and the head. But this time I did the entire body. So one of the things that people always says is that it looks the same. As I said before, that's what they always says. So apparently this was a creative. So these two pieces are full body. Now the biggest difference is one is that you do actually see the actual sneakers on the bottom. So here's when he cut half, is somewhere on the full body. Then I did a second drive, and it was actually different than the first one. The story was seems your quality, and I usually say this because again I'm only a poster that does first features, but now when I did a full body assignment that was given by Miss Young, she actually hired some models. I did it well, but the only thing I see from my perspective, it seems too cartoony. The sneakers are too large, and it's not even finished since I tend to add some models. The reason I did is because when I shaded that sort of aspects, is when those shaded in pen, it's kind of difficult to see. So you don't even see that black outline. Other than that, that's the entire of my portfolio. Most of my portfolio is always about bosses, sometimes full body, sometimes I use references to make the pieces, but other times where I don't have the option to use references, I always use this. I always try to use outside the box technological advances to make this piece possible. One of the things that people now may say they use the same, but if you understand my perspective, where I come from, they use the same because it's the only art style I tend to use. I'm usually a reference artist, so when I say I'm a reference artist, I just use outside resources to get my material. And as before, I usually don't try to buy my own skill without references. I need references. Case in point, that's how the majority of this portfolio is. References, models, and peanut butters, one non-references. So the entirety of this portfolio is references, and the entirety, and only exception to this one is pretty much the full fitness part, which was something I didn't use references, but I just added shapes of different heads. Instead of adding facial features, I just added lines that simulate tree trunks and cut off wood. That's what I usually did. So in any case for you, I appreciate you guys take your time to actually look at this presentation. And if you have any ideas where it's come from, because I'm planning to start my own business, try to set this up. Hopefully when I approve, this is usually the full showcase what I have. From anything from the hair, to the facial features, to the mouth, from the cartoony style, from the different aesthetics, from the different background choices. You could be surprised how our crafts could implement once you take into consideration. For any states, for any case of standards, I will say that the biggest problem with this portfolio is that I still miss some art piece. There's some space which I could fit in, but I guess we didn't fit because of time constraints. And if I have to put any commentary into this, I say that it could be better if it has more, if not has more variety, because people say it looks the same, but I disagree. But hey, I usually take criticism to the fair note and try to improve at a short time. In any case, by any user case, this is my portfolio of all, but not one, of the 17 portfolios that I did for Artcast, and I photo example how I put effort in my artwork and put some detail as a dream artist for emphasis, and highly detail oriented for an actual dedicated work of determination.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
So I love art. I think this is all really amazing. How do you choose which subjects that you want to draw?
Well, that's the same for me. I didn't choose the subjects. I was actually given by the subjects by the coronavirus teacher. You have to keep in mind that I did this during first pay, which is AP art. So I didn't get the chance to choose my own subject. It can't be free roam or 3 times. It actually has to be given as a sort of condition I had to give. So I didn't choose the subjects. It was a teacher that chose the subjects. And the only art teacher that gave me the subjects was Miss Young. And possibly Mr. Golden if he's around, but most of the time the subjects that I get was something I received from Miss Young. So I didn't pick one. I just got it from Miss Young and Miss Young only, because she's the only one that organized the crafts, and she's the one that actually owned the crafts. So if you want to give a credit, it's actually Miss Young that actually gave me some detail and assignments.
So you were mentioning before that part of this portfolio is showing your progress. So if you would compare two of these drawings and paintings, what do you think the progress shows? What do you think it shows that you've learned over doing the course of doing all of these?
Well, that's a good question. What I was saying theory on is that I owned it as some full body autonomy. The thing that, as before, the thing that people seem to comment is that when I do a drawing or a sketch, only created the upper body, but not the entire full body. So the only progress that I did was do a full body drawing, which most of the time we actually had to use our model for references. And I say that my biggest advancement in terms of progress was a full body. What I meant by that is that I did well with the shoulders, but as I look into the model as a reference, I tend to draw the upper body to the lower body, from the legs to the Achilles, to the sneakers, to the neck, to pretty much the hands, to the fingers, which I failed, and pretty much the one from the stool. Now it's not accurate because it's not actually from this part. The only progress I made was make a full body, but I suck at precision when it comes to the stool. And another progress that I made was the facial features. The biggest thing I always do is that I always put eyes, the nose, the lips, and eyebrows, the facial features. But this time, Miss Young doesn't want me to put facial features. She wants me to put something creative. So my biggest progress was I started a new artist style, which is why I realized the tree trunk, the color tree technique. I know it's cliche to say, but this is a progress that I made. And the reason which is why this is a progress is because, as you notice, the more you actually shade it, the more it gives the illusion there's actually a tree that has been caught up by objects. And that's pretty much something that I know so far. This is something that I know by myself as a self-taught artist, because I never actually did something that would cause no face features. I did something that didn't require any face figures. I started adding some wood aesthetics. Another project that I did, a fast that managed to go up, is include anamorphic aesthetics. What I mean is that besides making scenes creative and abstract, most of my time is usually, most of my sketch, most of my concept arts that I created over the past years, it's always been human, but not animalistic. So what I did differently is that I recruited a canine, poured it a glass of wine. Obviously, you couldn't see it because of the coin, but the only point that this is different is that this is an animal, as in anamorphic. And pretty much I give personification to this canine who is wearing a top hat as an accessory. So the only progress that I've made so far is to include less human autonomies and include more animalistic material as in anamorphic and animal personification. And I will admit it's still unfinished, but this is a different type of character that I put. So instead of trying to human, I tend to try animals, which is something that I never got used to, but it was something I got some progress that I got used to. And by this any reason, I tend to choose a different type of race instead of the same one. Instead of having the same human qualities, I tend to make my piece more animalistic and have more personification, and vice versa. That's the only progress that I made for all three.
Thanks
All
so
right,
much.
thank you.